let's go ahead and get started because it's going to get pretty hot pretty quickly here. And I know we want to take some time to do some touring around. Again, we've got some cold water over here. I'd like to welcome you to the official dedication ceremony of the Rio Concho Community Park and Texas Bank Sports Complex. I know that's a long name, but it kind of identifies what it is. It's the park, community park that's on the river, and we'll recognize a group here today for the official naming rights. First of all, I'd like to do some quick recognitions. There's so many folks here, some important folks here today that it'll take a long time to recognize everybody, but to start out, I'd like to recognize Mayor Pro Tempore, John Mark Hogue. I can't get that right. John Mark Hogue. Councilmember Charlotte Farmer, up here in the front. Councilmember John David Fields, back there. Councilmember Dwayne Morrison, here in the center. Councilmember Johnny Silvis, over here to my left. Also like to recognize City Manager Harold Dominguez, here in the center. Our two Assistant City Managers, Rick Wise, here in the center. And Elizabeth Grindstaff, back there in the back. Our last dedication, I forgot Phil Neighbors. Phil, are you here? There he is. All right, I want to recognize Phil, President of the Chamber of Commerce, and Pamela Miller, and the rest of some of his staff over there. We'll do some more recognitions, more personal recognitions later on in the ceremony. I'd like to do just a quick, brief history of how we got into where we are today. We talked about a few months ago how we wanted to do this. We knew that we had some events coming up. The first event, public event, is going to be today, the Little League tournament, which we're going to do mostly at Quad 1. And we knew we wanted to have a grand opening, but we decided to separate the two events out, have an official dedication early on before the first event, and then have the grand opening, have a big event. So we decided to separate them out. Today we're doing the official dedication. Not really open it to the public. We are going to open it up for the events that are going to happen. We've got the Little League tournament, and then early next week, we have the State Firefighters Olympics that are coming up. And then pretty much after that, this complex is going to be used, starting with the grand opening on the 1st of August. If you could take just a moment to look around, just take a moment to look back to the west, and then take a look here to the east. For most of us that are here today, we realize this is really an historical achievement for our community. We don't have anything like this, and we never have. Most of us realize the importance that this facility is going to have for us. We know it's going to help enhance recreation and sporting opportunities, but we also realize that it's going to have a significant economic impact if we take that opportunity and use it right. Just right quick, as the sunset of the last half-cent sales tax, primarily which was the dredging of Lake Nasworthy, after that sunsetted, we looked in 2002, 2003 to look at what other public works projects we wanted to try to achieve. So we started conceptualizing what we should do. Primarily in terms of sports facilities, we looked at either taking all the existing sports facilities and enhancing and improving those facilities. We looked at another option of creating a mega complex, like a 160-acre complex that would be home to soccer and Little League and softball and tennis. And then we looked at kind of a hybrid situation where we'd have some improvements to the existing facilities and to create a complex that would be home to a few leagues. And so that's what we did. So with the passing of the half-cent sales tax in 2004, we began improvements to some of the sports facilities, and then we started to work on this project. We started back in 2005, and we officially got underway in 2007. Here we are today in 2009, and this is really an historic event. This facility is going to be home to the Southern Little League. They're at Complex 1. At that location, there's 2 Little League fields. There's 1 T-ball field. It's also going to be home to the Girls Fast Pitch Association. We have 11 softball fields. We also have 1 larger Little League field there at Quad 4 at the very end on the east. We also have some community park elements, a playground, We have lots of sports lighting. We have lots of parking. We have 2 concessions. Back there at Quad 4, the fields there can be used for multiple use, soccer fields and also flag football fields. There's some other improvements, as you'll see, there's some other improvements we'd like to add in the future. A trail that goes along the river. We still have some dugout coverage to put up on some of the dugouts, but primarily this facility is practically finished. What I'd like to do now is officially dedicate this facility, and what I'd like to do is uncover the plaque and just go into a little more detail of some recognitions. John Mark, could you come up, please? Let me just pull it down. I'd like to officially dedicate this as the Rio Concho Community Park and Texas Bank Sports Complex. As you know, we may notice here looking at the plaque, we have a sort of a protocol as what kind of information we put on plaques. Typically, it's the folks that are recognized here are the folks who were active on boards when the projects were recommended and approved. First of all, I'd like to recognize the San Angelo Development Corporation, because this project is primarily funded by the half-cent sales tax, which is overseen by the San Angelo Development Corporation. I saw somebody here from the Development Corporation. Tommy Heber, back there, over there towards the back with a hat. I'd like to please recognize the Development Corporation.
Dr. Rollo's here.
Dr. Rollo. Yes, anybody else here with the Development Corporation? Darrell Gill? Anybody else? Without your significant direction and leadership, this complex would not be here today, so I want to personally thank you. Would also like to recognize the San Angelo Health Foundation. Anybody from the Health Foundation here? We did get one grant from the Health Foundation that primarily paid for the playground over there. If you get a chance to look at that playground, it's a new style playground. It's not comparable to Kids Kingdom in its character, but it's comparable to Kids Kingdom in the size and the scope of the playground. Also, the City of San Angelo, because we helped coordinate the project. The City Council at the time that this was approved, Mayor J.W. Lawn, John David Fields, Dwayne Morrison, Daniel Cardenas. Daniel's here in the center. Emilio Perez Jimenez, back over here. John Mark Hogue, right, and Charlotte Farmer. Development Corporation at the time, Matt Lewis, Kenneth McNeese. Unfortunately, we named the convention center after Kenneth McNeese. He was an important person in our community. He's the type of person that we all would like to emulate in his leadership and his drive. Joel Holguin. Joe is here. I saw him up here in the front.
You skipped Larry Teague.
Oh, Larry Teague. Sorry. Larry here. Luis Corona. Darrell Gill. Darrell's here. And Tommy Hebert.